a threat whispered in dreams, a promise that is no longer a bargain, but a command. You will join him. Not choice, not persuasion, violence. And yet, morning comes, food is shared, ale is poured, and somewhere between grief, duty, and fear, laughter breaks through. Because even in the shadow of something vast and terrible, something small, foolish, and unexpected can still remind you that you're alive. There's a shift in this episode that's easy to miss if you're not listening closely. Welcome back. In Season 6, Episode 9, Ash and Laughter, we move deeper into the underway, but the real movement isn't measured in distance, it's internal. Cullen is carrying more than the Dark Razor now. Dreams are changing, messages are sharpening, and whatever is reaching for him is no longer asking. But what makes this episode stand out is contrast, because right alongside that pressure, you get something rare in this story. Relief, connection, even humor. And sometimes, those moments tell you more about a group than any battle ever could. This is the Dark Razor Chronicles Streamcast. I'm Mike Carmel. Let's begin.
Cullen, Avon. The darkness that dragged me down last night. It's lifting. Darkness. The dream. That's what soured my sleep. What woke me in fear and anger. That's the source of it all. Tonana came to me, naked as always, but different. Darker. Not radiant or perfect. Her belly was marred, torn and scratched deep. I almost asked, but there'd been no room for questions. Her anger filled the space between us like fire. She'd said she was coming for me, that she would have me. I remember how she'd changed her words. Over the dreams, her message had shifted. It used to be demands, serve her master. Then it became union, a bond between her and me. Power, she said. Together we could overthrow him. But last night, it changed again. It wasn't her voice that spoke. It was his.
You will join him. If not by choice, then by violence.
She'd spat the words, bloodshot eyes burning, fists balled, body trembling. Rage tore through her, wild and unconfined. Or maybe it wasn't rage. Maybe it was desperation. There were flashes in her eyes, fear maybe, broken thoughts, like she was spiraling, like she was failing and terrified of the price. Maybe that explains the wounds on her flesh. I shiver at the memory as I glance back at Sherelle, still chewing, still smiling. I push the dream aside and offer a fresh smile of my own. A clatter in the hallway breaks the moment. Farthen steps in. He tosses his pack against the wall and strides around the table. He looks regal in his scale mail, thick brown belt, gauntlets tucked under one arm, and heavy black dwarven boots. The gold ring on his brow is half hidden now, tucked under his groomed hair. Intentional, I think.
Damn, what a feast before me. What I wouldn't give for some ale,
He says, cheerful as ever.
I think there's some in the cabinet, bottled no less.
Well, thank you, lad.
Farthen pivots, opens the cabinet, bursts into laughter at the sight of 24 bottles neatly lined on the shelves. I'll have one as well, I say,
And
Sherelle begins, but I place my hand gently over hers. We'll share it, I say quietly. Her grin twists, sheepish. She's remembering Marta's. The night I put her to bed.
Aye, lad,
Farthen says. Pop, then bang. A bottle lands hard on the table in front of me, scattering tack crumbs as yellow froth foams from the bottle. Another slams down in front of Sean, froth flowing down to pool around it. Sean opens his mouth to decline, but stops, maybe afraid to ruin the mood. Dagger barks, demanding attention.
Ah, Shinbo, you vile creature.
Farthen says, grinning.
You want one too?
Dagger, sitting upright like a toddler, puts both paws to his sides and angles his fluffy head toward Farthen.
Enough said.
He crosses to the cabinet in 3 long strides. I hear a cork pop just before Dagar's bottle hits the table. A yellow froth bubbles up and spills over the top. Dagar's face lights up, truly lights up. He hugs the bottle with all 4 limbs, rolls back, and hoists it into the air with his hind legs. He starts chugging, froth already misting from his nose.
You show him, Shinbo. That's how you drink in this glum.
Farthen bellows and takes a deep swig of his own, then watches as Dagar keeps sucking on his bottle, not coming up for air.
Ha! That's a mite faster than I. Maybe you're not so vile after all, Shinbo.
Dagger lets go an almighty belch that has a spray of mist above him, while his tiny cheeks flap like sails. Farthen seems to take that as a request, another one, or I'll tear your teeth out, because he's already back at the cabinet grabbing more. All right, I say, eyeing Dagar. Not too much. We need our wits. Another bottle slams onto the table. Dagar chitters, giving me a mock salute. It's playful. I let it slide.
Righto!
He downs the second just as fast. This time, after kicking the bottle away, he stays on his back, stomach round and distended, paws limp at his sides. Froth bubbling lazily from his nose.
Fantastic, Shinbo.
Farthen laughs.
What a creature. If you'd been at Lothbrook, what fun we might have had.
His grin falters. I glance toward the doorway. Care stands there, arms to his hips, face set like stone.
What's going on?
He asks, stern.
You're making a ruckus. We should be observing silence.
Ah, sorry, lad.
Farthen starts.
General!
Care snaps.
Sorry, lad, General.
Farthen says with exaggerated respect.
Been letting off some of the tension from the last few days. Can't really help myself.
He lifts the bottle like it's an explanation.
Whatever.
Care steps into the room, grabs a few strips of jerk, and turns to leave. Over his shoulder he mutters,
Be on alert.
Be on alert!
Dagger mimics, nailing Care's voice. He stifles a snicker, but it's loud enough. I know Care heard it. And just like that, my sour mood is gone.
Well,
Farthen says after Care's boots fade down the hall.
Mr. Stiffy Pants has a point, I suppose.
Aye, aye.
Dagger says, slipping into his best dwarven accent.
Perhaps one more?
He holds up a single toe like a finger. Perhaps not, I reply. He lets out another almighty belch that deflates his belly in a single go.
Farg, Shinbo, you abomination. Do you turn it all into gas instead of water?
Not all.
Dagger answers smoothly, unfazed by the string of light-hearted insults Farthen keeps hurling his way.
Eat.
Sean says, lifting his bottle for another swig.
We need to be on our way.
I pulled a sunstone from my shirt pocket. Still mostly black, but a pale crescent has begun to form on one side. A soft glow, like dawn against obsidian. Thank you again, Farthen, I say, holding the stone up in salute. He nods, and I tuck it back in safely, buttoning the flap. Wouldn't do to lose such a gift. We eat for a while, talk a little. Farthen keeps us laughing with a tale about his son trying to give a rock lizard to his mother as a gift. Dagar follows up with a story about a white fungus that chased him for 2 days after he tripped over it. The tension finally breaks. Farthen gulps down the last of his drink and sets the bottle down with less force than before. Sean finishes his handful of nuts, pops the last into his mouth, then stands, pushing back his chair. I'm satisfied. The ale turned the meal into something more. Sherelle, watching the others get ready, gulps a few mouthfuls of her own. I let her. Whatever the day brings, it might soften the mask she wears. She puts the bottle down, wipes her lip with her sleeve, and grimaces at the bitter taste. When she looks at me, trying to smile, I see it, that flicker of innocence I long for. But it fades, quickly. Her smile turns regretful. The old seriousness returns, like a veil being drawn. I rise and announce my intent, then leave to collect my things. Sherelle follows, Dagar's soft patter of feet beside us. I flip open the cover of my belt buckle and bathe the room in syrupy light. Shadows dissolve. Now that we're alone, I ask, what was the meaning of Sean's salute?
Salute?
I mimic the gesture, thumb and finger to brow, drawn down past nose and mouth.
Oh,
She murmurs, eyes dropping to the floor.
another sign of respect.
I wait. Nothing more comes. A sign of respect. 2, I press gently. She glances away.
Me.
She says. I see, though I don't. Not really. Is it something I should do? Her head jerks up, alarmed.
No, not at all, not you. Please don't.
And I remember Marta's. The sting in her voice when I teased her with the name Dia. Mocking titles. I hadn't meant harm. I don't think I had. But the wound it left lingers. I want to ask more, dig deeper into these titles, learn what they mean to her. But now's not the time. I can hear the others gathering, Care's voice carrying as he begins his ever-condescending briefing. Sherelle's belongings are mostly packed. She folds and stows with precision, just as I taught her. Dagar leaps from bed to table to pack, causing her to squeak in surprise.
You little rat.
She snaps, laughing as she swats at him. He darts away with a chitter. I smile. She smiles. It's good-natured, real. Something we haven't had much of lately. Let me help, I offer, kneeling beside her. I pass her the scattered items, and in short order our gear is ready. She ties the flap over her pack, then stands. I wait for her to swing it over one shoulder, then the other. She bounces it into place, thumbs sliding beneath straps to smooth out her shirt. She's changed. In such a short time, she's changed, and I'm proud of her. We rejoin the others at the door. Care scowls as we approach.
Dear, first Parthis.
And the Shinbo!
Dagar replies proudly. General, I say, nodding back.
As I was telling Farthen and Sean, beyond this door lies the tunnel I mentioned, a subterranean roadway that may take us all the way to the southern shores of Victoria.
He pauses, scanning us.
I have hopes for regular rest points. Possible contact with surface communities, though I can't confirm this. I go on rumour and scraps of stories from the elfin army.
He gestures toward the door.
We don't know what lies beyond, not for certain. I've scouted briefly. The tunnels were well patrolled. Etherson and his people left only recently. It's unlikely much has changed.
He straightens.
If we encounter anyone humanoid, I'll call out, "Hey ho!" If they are elfin, they will reply with their division. I will identify myself in return. If they don't respond immediately, we assume they are hostile.
He pauses to let that land.
We travel at a march. I lead. If I misjudge the terrain, then I take the risk alone. It protects our charge, deer, and our first Parthis.
Farthen crosses his arms with a low grunt of disapproval. Care doesn't acknowledge him, but I think he heard.
After me, Sean will follow. If anything happens to me, he is your first defense. Then deer and first Parthis. Rearguard. Farthen, if you please.
Farthen gives a stiff nod.
If there are no questions, make sure your supplies are stocked while we can, and we will move out.
I have 1,000 questions, but I keep them to myself. I nod. There is only a few minutes spent searching the food stores. Back at the meeting point, Care turns, steps to the wall, and places his hand over a square plate. It lights green. The door slides open with a quiet hiss. Beyond lies a long corridor, dimly lit by glow bulbs embedded in the ceiling. The tunnel is wide, too wide, at least 6 meters across, with a broken yellow line painted down the center. It stretches forward, endlessly. Care glances back only once, then leads. Sean waits until he's 12 meters ahead before following. I don't wait as long. I touch Sherelle's arm and start walking. My pack lurches, and I stumble forward as Dagar scrambles into place.
You made it!
He huffs. Were you ever in doubt? I mutter.
That Care is the descendant of an orc mating with a badger? No, I've never doubted that.
Farthen lets out a bark of laughter and picks up his pace behind us.
Ah, Shinbo, you three-eyed goat. What strange humor you have.
The day's march is long, tedious. The changes are so minimal I barely find the effort to comment on them. Smooth walls, exposed pipes, rooms with sealed doors and strange consoles. None of it resembles the pneumatic controls from home. Most rooms hold little more than a chair, a table, or a disused water closet. The glow bulbs overhead dim and die sometime around midday. I only know the time because the sunstone glows a clear, beautiful sky blue. Begrudgingly, I'm instructed to open my belt buckle. Its light is richer, deeper, more complete than anything the glow bulbs ever offered. I suspect Care regrets his earlier command to keep it shut. The windmill symbol appears often, always within a yellow triangle, and always on the most foreboding doors. That shape in my world means peace or decoration. Here, it puts me on edge. After some minor deviations to explore the smaller hallways, we risk opening one of the exit doors. It was a mistake. No more than 3 flights up, and we encounter it, the thinning. Worse, we feel it. Care is in the lead. He takes 9 steps past the 3rd landing, then jerks backward with a sharp cry. He tumbles down the stairs, nearly taking Sean with him. The thinning has descended 4 flights underground. Care shows no outward injuries, just bruises on his legs and shoulders, a nasty bump on the back of his head, but his eyes are wide and shaken. He says he saw orange fire, felt it, though only felt like scalding tea. But it was still a jolt, blinding. He'd lost control. After more dead-end corridors and useless offshoots, we return to the main path, the straight route, forward only. My feet ache from the ceaseless hard surface. My thoughts churn and loop on themselves. I'm restless, tired. I want to stop, even here in this bleak hallway. Care gives no sign of slowing. I think the thinning rattled him more than he's willing to admit. We pass several alcoves suitable for rest, but he waves them off, insists we press further, says a better camp lies ahead. He's not wrong. A quarter hour more, and we reach a boarded wall with a single door fashioned into it. On the right side of the corridor is another alcove, like dozens we've passed, but this one holds a large pile of ash, nearly 1 meter tall. It overflows into the walkway. Care signals a halt. He tries the door. It swings open easily. The light from my belt buckle spills into the room. Care steps forward, checking the space. From where I stand, I see a wide room, 6 meters across, a second door opposite the one we entered. My first thought is camp. The space has been fitted for it. Boxes of old graph iron, tipped on their sides or backs, form long, flat platforms. Makeshift beds. I count 8 possible sleepers. Above each platform are long metal spikes driven into the walls. One still holds a canteen. Care gestures. Sean enters first. I step aside, letting Sherelle and Farthen follow. The door I stand beside is reinforced wood with 2 sliding deadbolts. A central box as large as the sleeping pallets has remnants of an old campfire. Coals turned to ash, thick across it. The soot explains the ash pile outside. Above the pit is a small chimney, streaked black. There's no firewood in sight. Care checks the far corridor, then returns and shuts the door behind us, sliding both bolts into place.
This is where we make camp,
He says, as though any of us needed telling. I'm already shrugging off my pack. Sherelle follows suit. I place mine atop one of the pallets near the door. Dagar jumps from my pack to the pallet, sliding with an annoying screech of claws on the graph iron surface.
Farthen,
Care says, nodding toward the door.
would you bar it?
Farthen complies, sliding the bolts closed with a solid thunk.
Although there's no proper vantage point, we should still take shifts.
First Parthis.
Sean says suddenly.
Would you take first watch?
He hasn't forgotten my earlier request to be included. This is the easiest shift to assign, and I let my disapproval show with a faint sound in my throat. It doesn't have to be the first watch, I say. No one responds. I sigh, then nod. Fine. I unroll my bedroll on the nearest pallet and sit. Sean picks a place across from me. Farthen chooses the platform by the opposite door. Care opposite Farthen. They leave the bed beside mine empty. I assume it's meant for Sherelle. She claims it quietly, though I can sense her reluctance. I think she wanted to be closer. The idea makes my heart race. Her eyes flick to me more than once. Furtive, lingering. My watch is uneventful, not even a whisper. Dagger is restless, creeping over sleeping bodies like a shadow. Care instructed me to keep my buckle open to a sliver. The light is just enough to see, but too dim for my night vision. It leaves me half blind, half aware. I lose track of Dagger's path. He jumps to the floor, then up to pallets. At one point, he leaps silently to a peg in the wall, then back down. He investigates the fire pit, circles again. Whatever game he's playing, I let him. Mischief is welcome in a place like this. Humor is rare these days, and sorely needed. Still, the watch drags. With nothing to watch and nowhere to move, I find myself nodding, jerk awake, nod again. Eventually, thankfully, it ends. At least, I think it does. The sunstone tells me enough. Sean takes second watch. I curl into my bedroll. Dagar crawls beside me. Sleep takes hold fast. I wake to whispers. A flicker of light brightens the room beyond my slitted eyes. I stir, not quite awake, not quite asleep. The match sputters, then dies with a sharp sniff of smoke.
Huh.
Sean's voice breaks the quiet. Another match flares to life.
What is it, you idiot?
Care hisses, low and annoyed. Sean squints into the match, eyes narrowing. He gasps and waves it out.
It's nothing.
He mutters, shaking his burnt fingers and sticking them in his mouth.
Thought something looked off. Must have just been the shadow in this light. Burned my fingers to boot.
That's odd. There are no shadows with the buckle's light. He flops back onto his bedroll without further explanation. Care grunts and leans back against the wall, arms crossed. He catches me watching. Nods once. I get it now. I see what Sean meant. In this pale glow, Care's face looks odd, like he's carved out of stone. Shadows hug the lines of his cheekbones, sharpen his jaw, make his eyes look deeper than they are. Still, odd for Sean to strike a match for that. I close my eyes again, or try to. Sherelle lets out a burst of stifled laughter. I blink and sit up, just in time to catch her cupping a hand over her mouth. Her cheeks are flushed, eyes wide and full of amusement. The buckle light has been brightened for conversation. Sean and Farthen are grinning now, barely holding it in. Dagar sits near the fire pit, hunched low and practically vibrating with delight. His tail flicks wildly, and I swear he's making noises like he's got a squirrel stuffed in his mouth. I turn to Care, and a barely contained laugh wells up within me. His face, his entire face, has been drawn on in ash. A thick, pointed beard curves down from his chin, paired with a coiling, waxy-looking mustache. His eyebrows are dark, enormous, curling up toward his temples like devil's horns. The ash is so clean, so deliberate, it almost looks inked. I press my fist to my mouth and try to contain the laugh building in my chest. Care frowns. His eyes sweep over us, confused, annoyed, unaware. Sean cracks first, snorting hard and turning his head. Farthen doubles over silently, his shoulders shaking. Sherelle coughs, trying to bury her giggles. Even Dagar lets out a breathy wheeze that sounds suspiciously like
Masterpiece.
I stare at Care, still trying to keep my face straight. That's what Dagar was doing. Care catches on, sees what we all see, and wipes his hand across his face. Now he's black with soot up to his cheeks and forehead. That does it. Everyone breaks. Farthen howls. Sherelle leans into my arm, shaking. Even Sean's snorting laughter echoes off the wood and metal walls. Care looks down at his sooty hand, clearly distressed, then slowly composes himself.
Oh,
He says, flat, cold.
Season 6, Episode 9, Ash and Laughter. This episode holds two truths at once. There's escalation, clear, undeniable movement in Cullen's dreams. The voice behind Tonana is changing. The intent is no longer subtle. And at the same time, there's relief. A shared moment, a break in the pressure, camaraderie. Those moments matter more than they seem. They're not just pauses, they're what keep the characters from fracturing under everything that's building around them. Because what's coming doesn't leave much room for that kind of light. If you're listening along, now is a good time to follow the show and stay with the arc as it unfolds. And if you have a moment, a quick rating or review helps support the work and keeps the series growing.